to yoga. Go up, inhale. Now it's a little bit of a back bend. As you exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Now you can meet me in a down dog, or if you would like to do a vinyasa, you can bend your elbows, take an inhale and go into up dog, and exhale, then go into down dog. When you're in down dog, bend one knee and bend the other. Bend one knee and bend the other. Inhaling and exhaling. We're also going to lift both heels and lower. Lift both heels and lower. Inhale and exhale, and then hold. 5. Inhale. Go back up towards your hands, and then you're going to take a halfway up. Go all the way up. Now inhale and lift your heart. Exhale and go over to a side half moon. Hello everyone. Half moon, good morning. Breathe in. Let's take it a step further as you're ready. You could add a foot over, you could add a hand down. Breathe. Add even rotations. Go to pulls. Breathe in. And then up. So you're a half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Add the breath. And if you can, breathe in your nose and out your nose. But if you can't, just breathe however you can. And if you want to add on, maybe you'll put a hand down or pull your wrist or cross a foot. Breathe. 5, 4. Just opening up and rotating down. We'll take another breath here. Feels so good. And waking up the body. Good. Going up. Nice. And then exhale. We're going to come down. You can meet me in a down dog, or if you would like, you can do the feet back, bend the elbows, up dog, and then add a down dog. Hold the down dog. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then let the knees down. And we're going to shift back so it looks like a little, just a moment, child's pose. And then forward into, it looks like an abbreviated or modified up dog. And then you shift your hips back. I've got my toes under, child's pose. And then you shift your hips towards the ground like an up dog. You can keep going if you want, Karen. It's sort of this little vinyasa. This is a vinyasa move. And you just move back and forth. It's an extension here. Your knees are down if that's comfortable for you. And then a flexion. So nice and just lovely. Inhaling, and then you'll feel like you want to exhale as you close. Nice. One more. Breathe in. It's a good way to see how your body's doing in the different areas and to wake up the joints. And then we'll go to the hands and knees, and we'll do the cat-cow. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Lift. Exhale. Flex. And then we're going to take a few hip rolls so that your hips are doing these very large circles. And then we're going to take the hip rolls or circles the other way. Come back in a child pose and pat yourself on the back. So now the wrists get a break and the triceps get a little stretch. And then walk the fingers to the side. This is like a half moon, but in a child's pose. Walk your fingers far right. Open up the clamshell. Walk your fingers over to the other side. Open up the clamshell. And then come on back, and your option here is another down, a flexion extension, cat-cow. Or if you would like to just take it up a notch, you can go into down dog. Lift up your heels, articulate through your spine, and go into up dog. Let me tie this for just a moment. And you can do either cat-cow or the down dog, up dog. So see what works for you this morning. Down dog, lift your heels, press through your lower back, middle back, upper back, and go into up dog. Open your heart, tuck your chin, upper back, middle back, lower back. Press into your heels, lift your heels, lower back, middle back, upper back, up dog. Exhale, tuck your chin, upper back, middle back, lower back, drop through the heels. One more, inhale, undulating through your spine. Breathe in and exhale. And nice child's pose. Press your hips back. A little pat on the back for the triceps. And then gently come up. You can take a sip. We're going to meet on the belly for the prone thoracic extension. So that legs will go back on this one. We're going to ease into a lift with your back, and then we're going to ease the hands higher. Exhale, lower. Now when you're down in your torso, lift up both thighs. Lower your thighs, lift up your back without your hands, and then let your hands assist you. The whole back chain, the whole posterior chain gets to benefit from this swan. Thighs up. Lower the thighs, lift the upper back, let the hands assist, shoulder blades down the back. Lower, lift your thighs. Lower your thighs, lift up. All right, let's do one more and then hold it. Hold yourself up. In yoga, this is Bhujangasana, cobra or snake. And in Pilates, this is swan. We're opening up that upper back, opening up the front body, strengthening the posterior chain, improving breathing capacity. Take an inhale, and then an exhale to lower down. Now this is Shalabhasana. Your hands are going to go beside you, about near your hips. Lift up your back, lift up your legs, and breathe. Now we're holding ourselves up on this one. We're going to build some endurance in that posterior chain. Gently retract your scapula together. So this is a great way to counteract the forward poses of living. We're strengthening the back body. Rhomboids, rear deltoids, erector spinae. All right, lower for a minute. Now we're going to change the angle. This is like a letter T. You're going to inhale, lift your torso, lift your legs. Now your arms are like a letter T, and they might go higher than your torso. Rear deltoids. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Good. Feel the different muscles in the back. You're doing great. Breathe in. Nice. And then relax. Now I'm going to throw in a little windshield wipe here. Bend both knees. That's it, Polly. I'm just doing a reprieve. If you need a child pose at any time, take it. Now I'm going to, whoo, good girl. All right, now I'm going to do a Y. So with those arms, your arms are kind of like a letter Y. Lift up the body, lift up the toes, lift up the arms, and breathe. If that's too much for your neck or you're accidentally getting in your neck, lower your hands. Otherwise, 5 more, 4 more, atta girl. 3, 2, and then we're going to push back to your child's pose of choice. An option could be toes under, an option could be your hips up or your knees wide. Breathe in. And then come to a seated position, and you can grab a sip. And just see if you can take your knees back and forth. And I'm on my knuckles in the back body, but just sort of like a little, it's almost like that windshield wipe. Just see if you can take your knees back and forth. Yep, maybe your inner knee will drop. Yes. Good, just a little, it's a little vinyasa, a hip mobility. You got it. And then how about 4 more? And 3, good. And 2, and 1. And then we're going down. Make sure you have enough room behind you. Take an inhale. Good. Let your feet on the floor. Curl your lumbar spine up and down 5 times. Spinal mobility. Setu Bandhasana bridge. Well, my intention is your hips and your back feel just wonderful after today. During the class, and after. And then hold your hips up. They're in a parallel or even position. One's not higher than the other, they're even. You could put your fingers underneath and interlace them and walk your flesh under and hold. This is a great pose to close the eyes and go inside. Breathe in and fill your belly, your ribs, and your heart. 10. And then slowly release your shoulder blade flesh, release your hands to the side. And then open the feet out. And you remember how we did that little mobility exercise earlier with our seated? Now we're doing it on the back. So drop an inner knee, drop the other. That's it, Betty, just a smidge. I can see your entire mat now. Good, so it's a little mobility. The only thing is different, we're gonna hold it on this one. So the next time that your right inner knee's down, you might feel like that's the good pose, or pick up your left ankle, rest it on top. I'm gonna put the arms up and hold. Yes, so now there's a little more hip stretch. Let your eyes close, enjoy. Melt into a beach. Feel your hip bones melt into the sand. Inhale and let your feet down and take your other knee down. Now you might pick up your other ankle and press it towards the floor or rest it on that thigh. Take a full breath, relax your muscles, bring it in. Let the feet come up on an imaginary table, your hands behind your back, add a rotation, and we're going to do a little crisscross, which is the yogic bicycle abdominal training. You can also do this modified with the legs up or head down, and you can also just take a bridge if you need. Pull your toes back. We'll do another 15 here. Four, 3, 2, and 1. And then bring your hands to your inner feet and let your knees be wide. You can even use your elbows to press the knees a little wider so you have some inner thighs. Flex the small inner thighs, getting some flexibility training. I like a little rock, of course. 5, 4, 3, 2. And then one leg is up, and if you would like, you can hold on to the big toe and hover the other leg. You might just stay here or take your hand behind your head and lift up, or your hand on your thigh and hold 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Lower your head. Take your 2 fingers around your big toe. Stretch out the other leg. Here we go. Come up. 1, 2. Good. 3. That's it. 4, 5. Such a good stretch. 6. Such a good ab workout. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to open up the legs like a V. And if you're able to hold onto your toes, go for it. I'm going to hold onto the ankles or the calves and just start opening up the long inner thighs. Make sure you have enough room. And then just take a moment, right ankle to left thigh, reach your hands between and around. You might like a pillow on this, but you're going to add a rock if you'd like, or ankle toe movements, a little movement in that hip. Breathe in, let your tension melt away. We don't need it anymore. We're going to let the hips release. We're going to let the low back release. We're going to take another inhale and then switch it up. I love the ankle movements. There you go. Reach your hands through. Atta girl, Jean, I can see you better. All right, so the other side, how's it feel? And you're just observing. There doesn't even have to be any judgment with it. You're just observing. How does this hip feel? Maybe add a little rock or a little movement with your ankles and toes, your neck. If you just gently move your head side to side, you can release some of those neck muscles. Five, 4, 3, 2, inhale, and then just notice how everything feels. One hand per knee. Take a few stir the pots. You got it. We're going to use our hands underneath the thighs and come up, grab a sip. You're doing great. Grab a sip before we add on. That was a nice little block. And gently come to your shins when you're ready. So there's a few ways to do Ustrasana. One way is, this is camel. One way is take an arm up and then find your fist on your sacrum. Then inhale up and find your fist on your sacrum. Then you can squeeze the elbows together and lift your heart. So that's one way. You have a little pomegranate underneath your chin. If that's going okay, one arm could go to your ankle or heel and hold for 5. I'm going to go through the whole layer. So if you want to go through the whole layer, great. If you know where you're going, go for it. Breathe in. Now the arm that's in the air will go forward just a little bit to unweight your back, and then go the other side, foot on the heel and reach. Anytime as you need a child's pose, you're welcome to. All right, now on this next one, both hands can go back. I'm going to take one heel and the other heel. If that doesn't work, go back to that one at a time. Now push your hips forward like your thighs are trying to touch the wall in front of you. 10, chin tuck like a pomegranate's underneath there. 5, good. 4, good. 3, 2. Now I'm going to throw in a child's pose here. So one arm forward, windmill, the other arm forward, come. Relaxing. Another neat way you can do Ustrasana is just put your hands behind you and then lift your hips. So I'm going to show that way as well, but you can always do one of the other ones if this one doesn't serve you. Hold. 5, good. 4, lift your hips. They open up a little bit more as you're here. 3, 2, and 1. Really good job. Grab a sip. Nice. Working on those hips still. You can take a happy baby or the malasana, which looks like this. So either one. Another trick is to put a yoga block underneath your tush. So if you care to add on, your hands could do prayer pose low. Good. That a girl. 5, 4, 3, 2, really good. Now we're going to take a stand, and you could try the no hands touching the thighs, that a girl. And just take a moment to let your blood pressure adjust. Very good. Take a moment. Good job. And then open up when you're ready. Very good. Now we've opened the hips a bit, so I want you to see how this feels. I'm going to open up your arms, 5-pointed star. Lift up your right toes and then stretch out over that leg and come down. Now the Vinyasa is the arm on top. Could do some, I'm going to get away from the wall, could do some circles. And when I say circles, it's thinking about your humerus bone circling your glenoid fossa. So that means the arm could go way behind you. Yeah, overhead, way around. Yeah. And see us, I'm slowing down in the areas I'm tight. You may decide you're ready to find a stretch, so it's like a T straight up and down or over your ear or behind your back. So anywhere is fine. Just see what you need today. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and I'm going to open up my arm. Inhale, act like there's a string attached to the arm and it's helping you come up. I soften the knee as well. Come forward, 5-pointed star, pick up your other toes, lower them. So I like to spread before I lower them so that I know they're awake. They're ready to help me with proprioception. Go over, exhale down. Now the top arm is our Vinyasa. Go into whatever that glenoid fossa will let you do, whatever you can do. Breathe in, breathe in. Big stretch. All right, find a place that feels like what you need. Stretch it out, shoulders down. Yep, we can change, that's right. There you go, Betty. Did you feel how you opened up your arm more behind your ear? Just that micro movement, you can feel a deeper stretch. 5, 4, 3. I'm pretending someone's pulling me. 2, and then that same someone is pulling you up. It's like your spine goes long and back. Now walk the toes forward, hands at your heart, step or walk the feet in. Let that all, it's like a cake baking, simmer, and let's get a sip of water or whatever you're drinking. I'm drinking coffee. Come on in. We're going to take those feet out like five-pointed star. I like to just double check, sort of, it doesn't have to be exact, but roughly wrist over the ankles is a good rule of thumb. Take an inhale. All right, now when you go down, if your inner thighs are just a little bit tight, you may soften the knees to help slacken them. Your fingertips or knuckles are going to be on the floor. Let's do a little shake. Now walk forward with your hands until you're in a hammock pose, which is like down dog meets wide angle pose. So walk your hands forward, press your hips back, lengthen your knees if you can. Drop through your shoulders. Five, 4, 3, 2, and if you're inclined, lift your heels, articulate your low back, middle back, upper back. Do a little up dog with wide legs, and we'll do 3 of those if you would like. Heels drop, lift up, breathe in, inhale, exhale. One more. And then walk your hands back in close. Leave your right hand or knuckles down and lift up your left arm, windmill. Take an inhale and an exhale to bring that left hand down. Open up your right arm. And then lower down. Now this is a little free-form vinyasa yoga. Bend one knee, bend the other. You might decide you only want to bend a little bit. You might decide you want to go all the way down to the floor. So you can see what your body's doing. Yeah, there you go. I'm using my hands to help me get from one leg to the other. I'm not moving fast. I'm just feeling the inner thigh. I'm feeling the ankle. I'm lifting up the other toe. So just feel it. Your body's always sending you signals. What does it need today? Stay on the side if you would like. So I'm going to stay on the right side for about 5. Good. You can be right there though, Karen, with your hand down. You don't have to be this low. Michelle, that looks great. Just find what you need. Inhale. That a girl. That's it, Betty. Yep, it's under your shin. Yep. Now I like to use my hands on the switch. The old bait and switch, and then the other side. All right, 5. Yep, and breathe, and your neck is soft, so you might shake it. 4, 3, 2, inhale, and then come on back. All right, now this one is both knees long. Walk your torso to the right leg, both knees long. Yep, now I'm going to drop the neck a little. Walk over to the other one. Come on back and just dangle for a moment. Walk your hands back up to your hips, and then you can come all the way up till your elbows are behind you and your hands are at your sacrum, kind of like how we did in Ustrasana. Breathe in. And then exhale, come back, hands at the heart. Walk or step or bring those feet together and just take a moment. Take some coffee, or as I like to call it, mitochondrial decoupling. Whenever people talk ill of coffee, I remind them of the mitochondrial decoupling effect we love. Just kidding. So anyway, we're going to take a tree pose. So lift and spread your toes. And you might do 3 to 5 of those. So I like to make sure, do all the toes have space? And if they don't, just get down there and help that toe out that's struggling. But the toes are better for balance when they're dexterous, agile. Now you're going to leave your left foot down, and we'll take a right foot up to tree. I am going to take a cow face with this, so if you care to join, you can do cow face here. You can also just lift the arms in a classic lift. Yes, so find what you need today. Now we're experience that stillness, that calm determination. Now the breath could get fuller if you're doing okay. You're breathing in through your nose, filling up your belly, ribs, heart. Bringing in the new, get rid of the old. Now your hands will be first. We're going to bring them to your heart. Then your leg. You got it. Looking good, Jean. What a high tree. Lift and spread your toes. The hands are neurologically tied. That's why you might notice your hands want to do that too. Lift up your other foot. And then the other. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Take another inhale. And an exhale to lower those feet down. Well, hello. And we'll take an inhale here, and then we're going to do Parsvottanasana. Right foot forward, left foot back. Now this is like a railroad track. I'm going to add on a few, maybe 3 to 5 of these arm circles again. 2. Now the hands can be interlaced at your lumbar spine, or if that doesn't work, hold onto your elbows, exhale, forward fold. And your chin is soft. Right hamstring stretching. Ooh, looking good, everyone. Maybe chin tuck a little bit, Michelle, and see if that's okay. Just a chin tuck a little bit and see. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Take another inhale. Push your feet into the floor, and you can lift up your arms. You could even lift up your heels. Up into the sky, lift and hold. There you go, up and 5, 4, 3, 2, lower. Now your hands will go to your heart. Your other foot will match. Take it back the other way. So I've got this railroad track, that a girl. You could do 3 to 5 circles too, especially if you just feel your shoulders benefit. The more mobility you get, interlace your fingers or hold onto the elbows and then hinge. And now your gaze will change because you want your neck to feel very secure here. All right. Try 5, 4, 3, 2, and inhale to come up, and then you're going to keep going back. Your arms might lift, your heels might lift. Breathe in, inhale, lower your heels, bring your hands to your heart and step together. Samasthiti, and we'll take a sip and meet back here for a quad stretch and Nata Rajasana, dancer. So we're doing another balance pose. Lift and spread your toes. Lift and spread your toes. We'll do 3 to 5 of those. Feel how the feet feel like fans. And then right arm goes up and behind you. Hold on to an ankle or a foot if you can. If not, just do your best. There you go, Polly. One arm forward. I'm going to turn so I can see you again. But just hold the upright quad stretch for 10, 2. You're welcome to stay, or you can add on a foot pushing into your hand and you go forward. Thigh goes up. 10, 2, 3, 4. Good. 5, 6. I know. Good. See, Jean, we can laugh about it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good, right, Betty? We can laugh about it. So come back, start fresh. You're doing great. Now the other one is an inhale up, and the foot, hold on to the foot. The first part, so I like to pull the ribs down a little and the pubic bone up. So there is a little ab tone for most of us to keep the low back from getting too arched. 10. Now we're going to add on a possible foot push into your hand. Five, 4, 3, 2. That a girl. Slowly come back. It went better. It really did. Hands together at the heart. And I'm gonna, so grab a sip. I'm gonna have us do some nice stretches on the floor. So if you like props, for example, your Dynaband, or if you want a foam roller or a yoga block, you might have them, or a pillow, have them handy. So once you're down, you can stay. I'm gonna have us come down with a down dog. Take your inhale, go up, and an exhale, come down. Now you can meet me in down dog, or you can put your feet back, elbows bend, inhale up dog, lift the hips at a push up, and down dog. Now in the down dog, do you feel your calves are a little more stretched out? So for example, my heels are finally touching, but they were not the first few down dogs. Now if you want to add on, left foot pushes on the right heel and you feel a deeper stretch. But if you still don't feel that in your calf, you can go to your forearms and that'll help make the floor further away from the heel. Stretch out that calf. And it feels so good. Put the other foot down, push on that heel. Breathe in. Both feet are going to be on a plank. You can go to your forearms and hold. So a plank for good measure. Good. You see we do these in the weight training class too. Good. One side plank for good measure. Beautiful, guys. Just gorgeous. And then the other side plank for good measure. I'm switching. Very good. Inhale. And then exhale to lower down. Now, when you're on your back this time, you could take a right ankle to left thigh like we did earlier, but if you would like to fall over, put your foot down, and you can push that knee away, right arm out, teapot. So you're taking a hip opener. It could be the figure 4 again, or you could go to teapot. So sometimes it's just a matter of what works best for you. And there you go. Yep. For me, they both feel terrific. They both feel like I need them. And I get my low back and a higher hip on this. But I need them both. But some people really feel like that figure 4 gets them the best way, especially if they rock. So find out what works for you. Relax the hip. Melt into the beach sand. Breathe in. Feel your releases go through your exhale. And then let's take it to the other ankle to thigh. Now, you could just hold this figure 4 again, or you could roll over and open up your knee away, left arm out. Feel yourself melt. And then slowly come up when you're ready. And we're going to take, if you like blocks or yoga foam rollers, you can put that under your hip. You don't need it. If you want to just take your leg up with the hamstring stretch, you can. So if you are, one hip is on the block, or the hips are on the block, leg extended, one leg's up. Notice how that feels. Edge of mild discomfort, very good on the hamstring belly, not the knee or the, no pain in the knee or the sit bone. And then the leg that's in the air could go across. I like to internally rotate it as well. That's going to add a outer hamstring biceps femoris stretch. That's a great muscle to notice and pay attention to, because when it's tight, it can sometimes create pain in the knee or the hip. So your waist is long. Keep your hip away from your rib. As you take that leg across, you got it. Breathe in fully. Take it out, and a little bit is the inner thigh, inner hamstring. A lot is the inner thigh. Just melt into the floor. Take that inhale. Bring the leg up, and you can switch places. Now with your breathing, it's almost like you're drinking the breath. The breath comes in your nose and it fills the lower abdomen, the ribs, all around in the upper chest. That leg can go across the midline. Internal rotation will get that outer hamstring more, usually. We can be built a little differently, so I like to give a general where do you feel this, but if you're a little bit different where you feel it, it's okay. We're built a little differently. You can always email me or text me later and find out if something's right, but generally it should feel good on the back of this outer hamstring and the front of your other hip. The leg that's in the air can go out a little, maybe a little more. You can just play around. Now that always opens up the right hip flexor more for me. This is a great benefit. And that inner knee helps release any tension around the inner knee. We're going to slowly release, and you can just put your legs down for a moment and let the cake bake. Just notice how everything feels. If you're on a block, you can stay on the block. If you're on the floor, just sort of like notice how does everything feel as it settles into its new place. If you're on the block, you'll feel a fabulous psoas stretch and low back decompression. Take an inhale. Now, if you are on the block, slowly slide it out. The knee down twist, I'm going to offer the eagle pose. This is one of my favorite ways to do the twist. So your right thigh crosses once and your right toes hook underneath your left low calf. If that doesn't work out, just cross it once. But if you can cross twice, lift your hips and scooch them right as you take your hips left. Now your right arm, it might feel good to do some circles and open up that shoulder more, or leave it out like a Y or a T. So your left hand can hold that knee down. Now let the eyes close. And your breath is filling up through your nose, belly, ribs, heart. Your exhale releases tension. So as you scan the inner landscape of your body, you let go of tension, like telling it it's okay, you can relax, the floor has you, nothing to do, nothing to be. You're so much more than your identifiers and your chores. Now, take another inhale. You're going to slowly come back to neutral and realign the spine. Now, your left thigh will cross once. If you can hook your left toes underneath your calf, do it. You can lift and scoot your hips to the left so the knees go right. The left arm can take a few circles to further open up that shoulder and encourage scapular mobility. Now your left arm's going to stay out like a Y or a T. You're going to look towards that way. Keep your waist long. Between your rib and your pelvis is lengthen your lower spine. Let your eyes close. Your right hand can rest on that thigh to keep it down like a paperweight. Breathe in through your nose. Feel your diaphragm three-dimensionally around your ribs, your apex of your lungs, chest, upper back. And let the exhale melt all the tension away. Give in to the floor. Receive the benefit of a still mind. Now when you're ready, slowly come out, realign the spine, and we're going to take a supine bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana. Your feet soles are gently touching, the knees go wide. You can also put your arms up like a T or a Y. Let the floor support your hips, let the floor support your back. Totally give into it. You're imprinting your bones into the floor as if you were at the beach and you're sinking into the sand. Enjoy the benefits of a still mind. And then gently bring it back, the knees back together. And if you have a block or a yoga roller you'd like to put your hips on, you can. You can also just put your legs in the air without that, or Shavasana. So find a place that feels good to you. Rest. If you're up on a block or a yoga roller, a foam roller, you want to feel like your low back is decompressing, not that it's arching more. Feel the blood flow down in a way it doesn't usually get, since we're standing usually or sitting. And now just experience that sense of wellness. There's nothing to be, there's nothing to do, there's nothing to figure out. And there's a trust in the ideas coming as we let ourselves clear our mind. Now, whenever you're ready, you can gently release the block, and you slowly just allow yourself to roll over and to sit up in a comfortable position. You can even sit on the block if you want, but just take a moment to lift up, drop into the shoulders, and notice the power of just being still in the mind, of quieting the mind. This is where all the ideas are able to come in. There's a frequency of creativity and higher growth. And you're open and available, receptive to all of the higher growth, all of the right leanings, all of the ideas coming your way. So we'll take a moment just to notice how wonderful it is to be able to access that still mind anytime we need it, just like a beautiful snow scene. Clearing the mind. We're so much more than the identifiers and the labels. We're opening our consciousness to all of the right leanings and the urges and the creative ideas and growth that are coming with so much appreciation. Thank you so much. I hope you liked that yoga class today. It was a little different, a little calmer, like a snow day yoga, right? Perfect. I love it. I'm thrilled.